Overall, I think your paper was okay. I think this right here is your thesis. It could be a lot stronger if you really explain that more, like gave a little more detail to it. Um, I would consider taking the sentence and adding it at the end of your introduction because I think it would really help transition into your second paragraph better. Right here, instead of saying I am this way also, to make it stronger, you could consider saying something like I share this interest. Um, right here, you just give, you don't give any real detail. If you could give like examples to how they influence you, like what kind of choices, because you say they influence you to make certain choices, but you don't list any detail, so the reader doesn't really, can't really follow. And right here you say to seek their approval to continue the tradition, but you were talking about clothing. So I don't know if tradition's the right word um, for explaining how you're following in their footsteps with that, because I think it would be something better to talk about how you are continuing to like try and dress with the class that maybe your parents wanted you to. Um, I do like how you talk about right here how clothing has changed over generations, but you make it as you still want to follow what your parents taught you, but you make it your own. I would change the sentence to instead of but I do dress to not look as if I just throw stuff on. I think you should change that to something like, but I try to dress with class to make it sound a little, I don't know, easier, make it stronger for the reader to get like a visual of how you're dressing. Um, I like this connection of how people dress to fit their social status. Um, there are just a few little corrections in here to help with grammar. You have a really vague sentence right here when you say, when you see someone you think is cool, do something you want to do it just like they did. That's really vague. If you could give some examples, that would help it be stronger. Right down here, you said, uh, but it is the way I act. I think you should say it shows in my actions, because I think that would be better too. Then in this sentence up here, you say what the experts say or what the magazines say can control this. I would just take out that first say and put or what the experts or magazines say. Right down here you put not in a bad way, but you've used that quite a few other times in your paper. I try and put something different, like use different words like negatively or something instead of just saying not in a bad way. Right here, you talk about your grandmother and how she was really important to you and a big influence, but you don't expand that. You just state it. I think if you took that sentence and made it the beginning of a different paragraph, you could really take that subject and talk about how like it really how she was an influence to you and how it was really special to you. So I think that would make a really good paragraph for the readers to connect with. Um, you put my dad's side of the family is very strong tradition. I think you just misworded that, and it's supposed to be something else, so I changed that. Right here, I would break this sentence, or I wouldn't break the sentence with a comma. I'd put an and so that it flows better and easier. Right down here, you stated this already in this paragraph, and you were just repeating it. So I'd use something different there too, or just take it out. Right down here, you had a really strong connection, but I would expand it and give it some detail. Right here, you keep saying in your paper, you keep putting their traditions and stuff, but you don't actually ever tell us what their traditions were. So it would be a lot better if you actually like talked about what their traditions were. And then this one, instead of just saying the reason I am telling this is because I understand, or is because to understand. I would I would just change that and make it something that flows into the paragraph more because it's a really like short and choppy transition. Right here, how you just go, my first year of Czech, I absolutely hated it, and you just leave the sentence like that. I would expand on that too and talk a little bit about why you hated it and what was so bad about it to make you not like it, because the reader can't connect to how you were really feeling with just that sentence. Um, Other than that, I think you had a lot of good detail or a lot of good topics that you were sticking to, but you just weren't giving enough detail on them. But if you took those topics and just gave more detail, this paper would be really good.